I will be Mordechai should have Aliyah, the Neshama should have Aliyah. And the main thing, it should be the biggest Aliyah should come back down here. Chiyat HaMetim, Chaim HaChaim. I'm going to say a few words in English. English is more easy than Panamera, чуть-чуть по-русски. Чуть-чуть. Huh? English is fine. English is fine. Okay. Few points about Meir and what we could learn a lesson from it. One point, that Meir was born from the Rebbe's bracha. Yeah. Meir was born from the Rebbe's bracha. I don't know. I was very, very close to Meir. I can say, Nibad al-Chaim Tovim. He was very close to me. He was very open with me. He was my student. He was speaking to me. Everyone knows that Bachim Shur Beis. He was in Yeshiva. And he spoke very, very open with me. So he told me the story that Mordechai and his wife didn't have children were not so young. Even now they're young, right? Ni молодой, да? Ni молодой. Не старый, конечно, не старый. Но 25 назад еще не так молодой. בקיצר, and they got a brocha of the Rebbe, Tavshin Samach. So they got a brocha from the Rebbe. Someone told the Mordechai that going to the oil, getting a brocha from the Rebbe. He had a child, and Mordechai tried to say, and his wife got the same brocha, and Meir was born, which is something very, very special. Someone that was born from the Rebbe's brocha in an unusual way, with a miracle, because it's not a natural thing to have a child in this age. It's not a natural thing, and he got a bracha from the Rebbe, and that's a child of the Rebbe. It's really Meir is really a child of the Rebbe. It's a miracle that came from the Rebbe. You know, it says the Rebbe says that you see that when the Eden went out of the Mitzrayim, so the generation that went out of Mitzrayim, it's called Moshe Rabbeinu's generation. So the Rebbe said something interesting, that you see that whoever is related to Moshe Rabbeinu has something special to him, that it's everlasting. You see that, for example, the Mishkan, Moshe Rabbeinu made the Mishkan still exists. All the parts in the Mishkan, we learn these parshas, it still exists. It says that at Eden, next to the Beis Hamikdash, at Eden, Mashiach would come, it's going to come back. Why? Because it was Ma'aseh Yedei Moshe. It was the accomplishment of Moshe Rabbeinu. And the Rebbe says the same thing is about the people that came out of Mitzrayim. Moshe Rabbeinu, someone has to do with Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu is everlasting. So the same thing, the action of Moshe Rabbeinu. I think the same thing about Meir. Meir was the Rebbe's blessing. Meir is something that has to do with our Moshe Rabbeinu. Our Moshe Rabbeinu is the Rebbe. And that's something that's everlasting. It doesn't matter that, unfortunately, Meir is not with us physically, but because Meir is a child of the Rebbe, he was born with the Rebbe's bracha. He is Ma'aseh Yedei Moshe. Is the action of our Moshe Rabbeinu, it's everlasting. Then he told that one point in his life that he was born from the Rebbe's bracha. Then he told me something interesting. Meir told me, if he was 2 years old, Rahman Tzal, they found Rahman Tzal, he was sick.
Before 15 months.
Huh?
15 months.
15 months. Wow. And God forbid, he got the Yene Ma'aseh. And he told me an interesting story. He told me, I don't know, that his parents were not, so, Rahman Tzal, a child, 15 months old, and they discover, God forbid, something. So they asked the Baruch of the Rebbe and opened up the Rebbe's Sefer, Geskedish or something, about putting it in a Jewish education. To put Meir, to register him in a full Jewish education, and they did it. Even
Not,
it was
not just Jewish, but in Cheder.
in Cheder,
Yeah.
Cheder Chabad. Cheder Chabad. They put him, they registered him in Cheder Chabad, and on in our unusual way he became Q and everything, and that's a second miracle of the Rebbe. There's an interesting story about it. Not that there was a chassid of the Rebbe, Reb Zal Meguvari, that he, in the early years, right away after the Rebbe became Rebbe, it was event. It was Zal Meguvari was a businessman. He made money. He was a businessman, and he had a partner, not a Lubavitcher partner, and his daughter was sick. And so they asked him to ask the Rebbe Abroche. Asked the Rebbe Abroche to make operation, not to make operation. And the Rebbe said not to make operation. The Rebbe gave Abroche. The Rebbe said that who is daughter Luni? They said Luni Shulamit. Shulamit was like a not so frum, like more modern school. The Rebbe said you have to register the child in a more frum school, Bet Yaakov. And then it was more frum than Shulamit. So the Rebbe said fine. And then, unfortunately, they didn't register, and she became worse and worse, the health situation. So they had complaints. The Rebbe said not to make operation, and now it's not a good situation. So Zal Meguvari came to the Rebbe and he said, the Rebbe said not to make operation, and the child becomes worse and worse. And they asked, 1 second, did they register the daughter to the more frum school? Zal Meguvari said, she's sick. She's in the hospital. She's like in a risky situation. You're gonna start registering into a school. It's like, I told you to register to sign her into a school, to a more frum school. Kitzer came back to the family, and he told them she's in the hospital. She's about to die. And he said, the Rebbe said to register to a more frum school. Kitzer, they had no choice. And they registered, and she became completely cured. And he came back to the Rebbe. He said, Rebbe, you made such a miracle. And he said, Paruski, Tshuda. But it's very Tshuda. The Rebbe said, את אני המאיה בצ'ודה, את התוויות צ'ודה. But the Rebbe said, the fact that you had the ability to come back to the family and tell them to register, the family looking like it's completely Meshuggah. Right? Meshuggah. Right? Register to a frum school את התוויות צ'ודה, למה יהיה צ'ודה? So you have emunah that you, emunah in the Rebbe, what the Rebbe said. Meir, one thing I saw by Meir, by him the Rebbe, and emunah in the Rebbe, את ה-100% chestnut. No, באמת. By Meir, the Rebbe was such a lively thing. I remember, maybe you don't know, I'm not saying a whole speech, I'm saying just a little bit. I'm not saying a whole speech. By Meir, the Rebbe was like 100%. 100%. nicht 100%. You see, you have to teach me English. So anyway, that's very interesting. I remember when Meir had a certain dilemma what to do this way, the other way, he wrote to the Rebbe, open up a Geskedish. I remember he used to come ask me what the Rebbe mean. By him, the Rebbe was, that's the whole life. The whole life by Meir was really Rebbe. That's really, by Meir, everything around it is surrounding around this point. And back to the point, back to the story, that registering Meir to when he was 2 years old, 15 months, to Cheder Chabad, and he went out of it. Went out of it and started to walk and everything. Yeah, so another point, when Meir was 11 years old, they went to Achet Mimim. Remember one of the Rabbi Ravisky, sein gesunder Stark, and Rabbi right? And Rabbi Laronov, and so I don't know if you know, Rabbi Laronov is a very tough person, but a very Chassidish Yid. I think it's something interesting. Meir and in common with Rabbi Laronov. That means they understood each other. They understood each other. Rabbi Laronov was a very sharp chassid, very, very sharp, and very, a certain. And by Meir, so this point, very, you say a chassid. The Alter Rebbe said, the first head of Chabad said, a chassid is a kluger. A chassid is smart. Meir was a smart chassid. I hear an interesting story with. First of all, practically, Rabbi Laronov was already old. He didn't write Tefillin and Mezuzahs. He didn't write anymore. He was a slave originally, but he didn't write anymore. But for Meir, the mitzvah, he wrote specially parshas, right? Tefillin. Especially Tefillin for Meir. It was an unusual thing. I want to say an interesting story that brings out Rabbi Laronov and Meir's smartness. Chassid is a kluger. Chassid is smart. It's a story I heard from Rabbi Laronov. It's an interesting story. A story with the Rabbi. It was once someone came out of the Holocaust. Then out of the Holocaust, he was a genius, Gimor, Meforshim, everything. But unfortunately, something went off a little bit in his mind. Yeah, a little bit. And he thought it is Moshiach. He thought it is Moshiach. This smart person. So never, he couldn't get any job in a yeshiva, school. A person says that it is Moshiach. It's completely, and he brought proof that it is Moshiach from this, and this, and this, and he can't do anything. So the person was without clothes, without normal clothes, no money, no food. But he's a genius, he knows a lot of Torah. So someone told them, go, I have an idea, go to the Lubavitcher Rebbe, at another Rebbe, ask him a bracha, ask him what to do. Fine, he goes into the Rebbe. That Rabbi Laronov tells me this story. He says, he goes to the Rebbe tells him, he started to say to the Rebbe, I hear the Rebbe saying, the Gemara says that I am Moshiach, and the Posik says, and he brings a proof that he is Moshiach. So the Rebbe says, I hear, yes, Lushu. No, but this thing only Hashem and you are allowed to know. No one is allowed to know it. No one is allowed to know this secret. Only you and Hashem. That you Moshiach. The Rebbe didn't say that he is Moshiach. The Rebbe didn't say that this person is Moshiach. The Rebbe just told him it's a secret. Secret. Nekava. He went out of Yechidus. He goes to a job to be a teacher in a yeshiva. And they test him, and he knows a lot of Torah. And he wants to say that he's Moshiach. He's not allowed to say it. So he got a good job, and he got money.
Get married.
Huh?
Get married.
Huh?
Get
Yeah?
married,
Yeah, because the secret, the Mishigas. The Mishigas at the end in his system. He was shut off. Now, what I'm saying, I want to say it in regards of Meir. Very interesting thing. In our life, we have things that we want to do. Everyone has good things and Yetzirah and negative things. And in life is that certain things come around. Certain things always disturbs you. What's the trick? What's the trick? The trick is that you have a certain point that you want to do. When you want to do something, you ignore all the negative things. Something comes up, you shut it off. Another thing comes up, you shut it off. You have a point. You want to get to a certain point. You want to do the right things. But sometimes a Mishigas comes out, you have to put it aside. By Meir, we saw it very, very strong. I mean, Meir, when he wanted to do something, even though certain things disturbed him, he didn't let it to make him a sugar. He put him Mishigas aside and then put him. Another Mishigas came in, put it on the side.
Wow.
He had a focus until he got to his point. Many, Rabbi Kapalovsky mentioned before the mikveh. Yeshiva was Corona, COVID, Corona. So there was no mikvahs, all the mikvahs was closed. So he decided he wants to make a mikveh for the Bochim. He wants to make a mikveh for the Bochim. People told him, mikveh for the Bochim, how could you do it? There's no money, there's no place. By man, no such thing. He has a thing that he has to do. He's going to walk on the point. Mishigas comes in, he's going to shut off this Mishigas. Another Mishigas, he's going to shut it off. He has a focus. He wants to make it done. He makes it done, he makes it done. That's like the story with the Rabbi. The Rabbi told him, the Mishigas that comes up, shut up. Just don't speak about it. Go further. Go further. You have a Mishigas, another Mishigas. Mashiach, this Mishigas, other Mishigas. Comes in, shut it off. Go further. By Meir, anyone, right? Кто знал Meir, это как его character. Что, that was his character. If you have something,
Very persistent.
Настойчивый. Until you get your point across. I don't care this thing, the other thing. That's the second point. The second, another point by Meir is the nekuda of learning Chitas and Rambam. I don't know if you know, but I knew Meir very, very close. But in Chitas and Rambam, to learn Chumash, Tillim, Tanya, Rambam was so precious, not just for himself. He always made a point to other people also to learn Chitas Rambam. I remember, he had a ganze campaign to make sure that other people learn Rambam. I remember, I was so impressed with Meir, I hope I bring it. We should bring together in the same L'chaim. Yeah. So there was I'm so sure about this. I didn't think about it. This week is Parshas Pkudei. Parshas Pkudei. Yeah? And this week we know in the Torah, Parshas Pkudei. So the Rebbe verbringt, when the Rebbe sent the first group of Shluchim to Australia, Bochim, the Rebbe sent to Australia. So the Rebbe verbringt for them. And the Rebbe said like the Roshav is Pkudei. Pkudei means counting. Chitayit, right? Chitayit.
Считай.
Even по-английски, я не говорю, как сказать, акцент. По-русски, конечно, нет. So, считать, как сказать, Пикудей, что значит Пикудей? Считать. Рэбе сказал exist. Рэбе сказал, когда Мошиach придет, это не wissen gekunst. He's not going to go for any tricks. He's going to ask, Ele Pkudei Mishkon. Write me in a note. 3 things. What is the note? How many Yidden you influence to be connected to Nesidereinu? How many Yidden you connect to the Rebbe? The second thing, how many Yidden you influence to learn Chitas? And the third thing, how many Yidden you influence to come Shabbos and Vochim to Tilim? By Meir, he had a whole agenda, a whole mission to make Yidden to learn Chitas, to learn Rambam. It was so, not just himself. It was so important for him to make sure that another Yid to learn Chitas, Chumash, Tillim, Tanya, Rambam. It was so important. Why? Because that's what the Rebbe wants. That's what the Rebbe wants. It's so important. I heard a story that I heard from Rabbi Blau. What's his name? Levi Blau. It was a Yid, not a Lubavitcher, a businessman without a beard, came to the Rebbe and Yechidus. And the Rebbe asked, they came to him, you know, tzaddikim, I said, Polskim, pravednik. Yeah, Lubavitcher, whatever, pravednik. So I said, it's Frasal, Baglav Slovenia. So the Rebbe tells him to learn Chumash, the portion of the week, and Tillim. Yeah, that 30 days, the Rebbe explained them, Chumash, Tillim, Tanya. So he was a businessman. He told the Rebbe, listen, I didn't come to you to tell me what to learn Torah. I have my learn Gemara, learn this. and then come to you. I came to for a blessing. The Rebbe became very serious, and the Rebbe said like this. The Rebbe said, my father-in-law established learning Chumash, Tilim, and Tanya. All my blessings, the Rebbe's blessing, comes if you learn Chitas, Chumash, Tilim, Tanya. So it wasn't just what to learn. It was just you asked me for a blessing. So I told you. You came to me for a blessing. I told you, if you want to learn, if you want to get my blessing, if you learn Chumash, Tilim, Tanya, and for us, Chassidim, the same thing. His Rabbi, the Yid was 2 years after. This Yid is not a Lubavitcher. You see, he spoke to the Rebbe like this. Rabbi is not a Lubavitcher. He says, for the past 30 years, he didn't miss a day of learning Chitas. But he said like this, he said, he never had to go to the doctor. Never went to the doctor.
Wow.
For 30 years, he never went to the doctor. For 30 years, he said, he never had a shortage of money. Wherever he needed money, he always said, made of the kids, Hashem made, he had money. And he said he has nachas. You know what's nachas? He had nachas from all of his children.
Amen.
That's what the Rebbe told him 30 years before. Back to the point, by Meir, Chitas Rambam was not just for himself. He had a whole campaign. This Bocher should learn Rambam, this Bocher. He made, it was very, very important for Meir that Yidden should learn Chitas Rambam. That's what the Rebbe said Mashiach would come. Is asking just for a simple note. Okay, there's a lot. One of the very, very important for Meir was a koch in halacha, Shulchan Aruch. By Meir, halacha was like, I don't know. First of all, I'm a teacher in Shiva. Besides Chassidus, I teach halacha. So it was such a, we had a lot of fun. You know what's fun? Fun, no? When he came and he started arguing with me. Okay, you say like this, no, it's like this. You used to argue with me. It was a lot of fun. Why? Because halacha was very, very important. And when Meir took a project to learn, he didn't just go to halacha. He used to go to the source, the Gemara, from the source to the Shulchan Aruch to the practical things. And he always was very, very creative. Like come up with new ideas. Maybe you could say this is okay. Maybe you could say this is okay. And he used to argue. Was a lot of me and Meir. Was a lot of fun. Logically, a lot of fun in learning because halacha was very, very important. I just want to finish one thing. The bottom line is, the Rebbe always said, after the Rebbe's wife passed away, the Rebbe said, the main thing is to learn from the person that passed away. The main thing is to learn. I would suggest, one thing is to be stronger on learning Chitas, learning Rambam. That's something that's Meir, that's something that, for sure, no question about it, that for Meir, anyone that takes upon himself to learn Chumash of the day, Tilim, to say the Tilim of the day, Tanya, to learn Rambam, even if you can't learn, you could learn three pokim, one page, at least Sefer HaMitzvos, something about the idea, that's one very, very important thing for Meir, and I think that's going to give him further, no question, if anyone over here, each of us, going to be stronger. Learning Chitas, Chumash, Tilim, Tanya, that's something that's for sure for Meir up there, it's for sure going to give him nachas. And the second thing is, I'm sure that Meir is not resting there. He's not going up there in Shamayim and resting. Anyone that knew Meir, Meir and resting doesn't work together. No? Anyone that knew Meir doesn't work together with resting. No such thing. What do you mean he's on vacation? There's no such thing, right? But Meir, no such thing as vacation. I'm sure that Meir over there is like carrying a veil. He verbringt, he makes sure to bring Mashiach, to bring the Geula. So that's another thing to daven about Mashiach, to learn about Mashiach, to make sure that it's burning fire like Meir, like a piece of fire. To bring Mashiach, to bring the Geula. And we should daven about it, think about it when we daven, think about Mashiach, and Hashem should daven l'chaim, should be kitzu an Hashem Yafo, Mashiach kipshut take from your mamish. Thank you. It's not important, but it was my boss that I told you before, Meir was very, very close to me. Very close to me. So, it was my 50th birthday. When I was 50 years old. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, and I'm a little bit more than 50, not much more than 50. Even though I always say the Bochim keep me young. Even though my friend have already white beard and I am 54, but Meir and his friend always keep me young, you know, always have young chevre coming in, so they keep me young. So was something very, very interesting about Meir. My house, I bought a house, and Meir says, we have to make a verbringen. We have to make but my house was, the dining room and living room is too small. There was a wall between the dining room and living room. So Meir said, you know what? I'm going to give you a birthday party, a birthday present for the 50th. I'm going to make sure to break the wall. We're going to make one big room. We're going to make verbringen. He went to, what's his name, Chanukayov.
Yeah.
He went to Chanukayov and said, don't worry about money. I'm going to pay you money. You make sure Rabbi Mann's wall goes off. We have to make verbringen. That's exactly, if you know Meir, that's exactly what Meir is. Right? The bottom line is that Meir wants Chassidim should be besimcha. Verbringens, be besimcha. That's l'chaim. Should take a resolution to become stronger in learning Chumash, or Tilim, or Tanya, or Rambam. Rabbi said that yes, booklet. Каждую неделю, что есть Chumash, Tilim, Tanya, Rambam, Sefer HaMitzvos, or Sefer HaMitzvos, or Adin, one perek Rambam, Adin, Lava, yeah. I think it would be really would be a very, very good present for Meir. For Meir would be a good present and a good feeling in Shemayim that people ludi tut that achlote to start learning Rambam, Sefer HaMitzvos, Rambam, это для женщина каждому. Promise. Как сказать на русском? Обещание, блин, это. Обещание to learn Rambam. Решение. Не знаю, что такое. Ну, настоящему. Лахаим. Говорите лахаим. Думайте на Meir, Yaakov, Meir, Yaakov, Feivel, Ben Mordechai, Achloto, решение, ждали чуть-чуть больше. Sefer HaMitzvos Rambam, или Tilim, Chumash, Tanya, чуть-чуть лучше. дай Бог, это настоящему, это хорошее, это дает ему 100% дает ему удовольствие. Удовольствие до душа. Лахаим.
Я смотрю, еще могу держаться, есть, по-моему, 2 типа.